Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of a brand new piece of gear that I am incredibly excited about. This is the brand new Tethrd Carnivore saddle. This is a two-piece saddle system. I'm stoked. Supposed to be very comfortable, lightweight, versatile. It's got a lot going for it. There's a lot of really cool features that I want to run through with you guys. Again, I haven't opened it yet, so we're going to pop this box open, see what it looks like, and then start talking about all of the different features. I've read a ton about it. I've been in contact with the guys over at Tethrd, and I'm stoked to try this out for myself. Once we get through talking about all of the features, we're gonna take this thing out in the field. We'll put it in a tree and I'll show you on video how it works, how I am likely going to be setting it up. First thing that I noticed when it was on my doorstep was that it has the Tethrd logoing on the box. It's a nice feature. You know what you got in the mail. It's not just coming in a random box. On the side of it says, warning, items in this box have been known to blow hunters' minds. I've found that to be true with all the different gear that Tethrd has made in the past. I've been putting it through all of the abuse during the fall, and it is kind of mind-blowing how well the gear holds up and how versatile all of the gear is. So we're gonna zip this thing open. You're almost there. Keep going. Oh man. They did some cool stuff with this packaging. Check that out. Let's get this box out of the way. Check that out. That packaging is so sick. Carnivore 2-panel saddle. Right there on the back, got all the features. Also, can we talk about how sick that logo is? That new Carnivore logo is awesome. That could be a full-blown brand logo by itself. Let's see what it says on the back here. The Carnivore 2-panel hunting saddle is the ultimate combination of lightweight, low drag, and unparalleled comfort. Whether you're trekking deep into public land or locking in for a dawn to dusk sit, the Carnivore 2-panel has your back. Silent and durable, our patent RAD system provides all-day comfort during your hike and throughout your hunt. The Quad Lock Ultra Bridge lets you adjust the top and bottom panels independently so you can fine-tune your fit for all-day comfort. Super sweet. In the package, it includes one Carnivore 2-panel saddle, one user manual, 2 bridge bushings. Rating, this is a size regular, so the rating for the size regular is 300 pounds. The weight of the saddle itself, 2 pounds 4 ounces. That's incredibly lightweight. The waist is 28 inches to 36 inches, so that's going to fit a wide variety of people right there with the regular. Let's see what it says about the saddle features. 2-panel saddle, fully adjustable independent panels allow you to adjust and fine-tune comfort for all-day saddle hunts. Quad Lock Ultra Bridge allows for independent adjustment of top and bottom panels. Bridge bushings installed. So right out of the gate, the box looks awesome. The brand new logos for the Carnivore also look awesome. Just a very, very well put together package, very appealing to the eyes. I like the simplicity of the front of the package with just the Carnivore and the Tethrd logo. Very well thought out packaging right out of the gate. I feel like I'm holding a new MacBook Pro or something like that. Super high-end packaging. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, buddy. That Carnivore logo is so sick. Look at that. See that sheen? So cool. Yeah, they outdid themselves with the packaging. That is sick. Inside we've got a user manual, which will tell you all about the features, the different ways to adjust the saddle, all the good stuff. And we've got the saddle itself, the all-new Tethrd Carnivore 2-panel saddle. This thing is so cool. Ultra, ultra lightweight. I can already tell that right out of the gate. Right out of the package. Awesome. This thing seems to be incredibly well thought out. Great stitching all throughout. If you can see on this thing, check out the laser logoing, all the stitches, all the seams. Super well built, as per usual with Tethrd. As you can see here, we've got the buckle that goes around your waist. Just a one-click action, just kind of like a seat belt. We've got the lay flat bridge loop, so if you can see, this webbing is flat to the hip right here. So you're not gonna have any material bunch up in that thing. Very even pull right there on those bridge loops. That is a solid feature. Obviously, we've got the main bridge with the Prusik knot adjustment that is actually woven into this new bridge quad lock system. That's pretty sweet. So you can see it's already woven into the quad lock system, this Prusik knot. Easy function, just as always. And then as you can see on the bridge itself, we've got this one continuous loop that runs through both the top and bottom panel. On the back, you can see we've got the rad system. It's just a quick release button. Those two panels separate. Easily click them right back in. Kind of cool, this saddle can be ran as a 2-panel, or if you clip these rad buttons in, it can be just ran as a single panel, much like the Phantom. This thing is giving me Phantom vibes. So if you're familiar with the Tethrd Phantom saddle, this feels a lot like the Phantom. Very minimalist platform, but this thing you can add whatever pouches to the Molly Web system. Just a very, very well built saddle right here. I can tell it's gonna lay flat against my hip and up against my body. That thing's gonna be streamlined. This is a pretty sweet feature that they launched with this Carnivore saddle. So it is a 2-panel system, so you can detach the panels and then they're linked together with this continuous line running through the bridge. That is their quad lock bridge that is brand new for this Carnivore 2-panel saddle, and it is such a cool system. With this little grommet in here, you can see this line free floats through that grommet. That is a self-equalizing bridge system. So when you're in the tree, you can move around however you want, and this bridge is going to give you comfort in every position with that self-equalizing system. But if you want to run this in a micro adjust bridge lock, you can just pull on this tab right here and it separates the bridge, and as you can see, this little tube comes out. You can just stick that in your pocket or a side pouch, and then you can micro adjust this thing and lock it in with your body weight, and it's gonna stay wherever you want it. You just pull this little tab, unlock it, run it to the next setting however you want it, sit back in your saddle, and it'll lock it in right there too. So you can micro adjust your fit and feel however you want. If you want to go back to a free floating system, you just take this little knob, it's got a slit in it, put it right back through there, adjust it into that bridge, lock it back down, and you're right back into a free floating system that's going to self-equalize with you however you're positioned in the tree. So right out of the gate, my initial impressions is this thing is incredibly well built, which is par for the course for all of the Tethrd products I've ever used. They are not going to let anything go out of the door that is not inspected and top-notch quality. I really like that it's got a floating waist belt. This waist belt passes through the webbing all the way around evenly, so it can move left to right easily. So you can put that buckle really wherever you want. So if you don't want it center line over your actual belt buckle, you can move it easily one way or the other and shift it. Go right there with it. We're just gonna cinch it up right about at my hip line or just above, because being a 2-panel saddle, I can disconnect this thing and run it lower. Super high quality buckles on the legs. Oh yeah, you can tell right here, very, very flat to my hip. When that's tight up against my Tethrd, super flat, seamless. I mean, look at that. See, if we were hiking, I'm probably gonna suck this all the way in. Loop this through these. Oh man, that is sick. That is sweet. Look how tight this thing sucks down to your hip. If you don't want to get caught on any brush when you're hiking in, just take that bridge, run it through your 4 tabs, and it sucks it all tight to your person, and the only thing out is your lineman loops. You could even loop it through those lineman loops and lock those in too, but man, I literally don't feel like I'm wearing anything right now. This thing is so lightweight and just sucks right down to the hip. All right, in the back, I've got these 2 rad clips right here. I'm gonna undo those. I'm just gonna follow the panel, that webbing down on the panel. And right here is your loops. You can grab those with your thumbs and pull those lower. And you can adjust this panel, secondary panel, at whatever height you want. I can already tell this thing's gonna be so comfortable. We need to get this thing in a tree and check it out. If you want to bring the lower panel back up, just grab your rad clips, find those little knobs, click, click, super easy. And again, with this molly webbing all the way around this thing, you can attach whatever saddlebags you want, whether it's a drawstring bag, the full zip bag, all of them can be attached to this saddle. So super versatile, incredibly lightweight, very comfortable to this point. Like I said, I'm gonna crawl up in a tree with it and see how it feels. All right, so unboxing, the initial impressions, the packaging, 10 out of 10. When it comes on your doorstep, it comes in a package that says Tethrd. You know what you're getting. It's not just in a random package. There is logoing. And then the box itself, within the box, this thing is sick. This is like opening up an iPad. Look at that. So sweet. All right, let's get this thing out to the field, hook up to a tether in the tree, and try out all the different features. Another thing with this saddle, much like the Phantom, incredibly easy to pack up, super small to store in your bag. That is the entire saddle right there. You can slip that in a side pocket of your backpack. All right, guys, I've got a platform set up on the tree. I've got a single 1 stick on the tree as well as my tether. I'm gonna unbox the Carnivore saddle, 2-panel saddle, and throw this thing on, crawl up in this platform, and just mess around with all the different adjustments, where I feel like I would want it for my tether height, play around with the quad lock bridge system and the free floating versus the micro adjustment. Just all the different things. So throw this saddle on. Again, I'm going right about at my hips, if not slightly higher than my hips. We're just gonna pop right up in here. Around, hook into my bridge. Tighten this down. And right now, I'm gonna start with the tether right about at my sternum. See how that feels. Ooh, feels good. Even just as a single panel, this thing feels awesome. Let's unhook the dual panel. Hold that down. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about comfort. What I'm noticing right away is how flat this saddle lays to my hips. Incredibly comfortable with 0 pinch points right on my hips. Dual panel, it feels like I'm sitting in a hammock. This thing feels incredible. I can say dual panel position, incredibly comfortable. Tons of lower back support as well as support on your butt, especially in a seated position with your knees up against the tree. This feels like I'm literally just sitting in a hammock. Very similar feel with the panels to the Ultralock. The Ultralock has that pull down panel, but it's not a full separated panel. So while it's a similar feel, it is definitely its own feel. Very, very comfortable. Like I say, especially in this seated position like this. I mean, you got all the support. Lower back, around the hips. And again, with that flat lay quad lock system, there is 0 pinch on my hips, on my thighs, around the inside of my thighs. No pinch whatsoever. I'll play around a little bit with the free float bridge system. So the further I pull this down, the more I can kind of manipulate this bridge. So if I'm moving around and swinging around, this bridge will just float with wherever this second panel needs to be. I can move left to right, it self-adjusts, basically self-leveling. No matter how I'm positioned in the tree, this bridge is pulling the right amount of tension right in the key spots that it needs to. It's basically going off of the load that I'm putting on it. Now that I've played with the free float position with this quad lock, I want to mess around with the micro adjustment. So I'm just going to take this tab right here, pull out. It's going to loosen that thing. Take my little notch out, stick that in my pocket. Same thing on the right side. Pull out a little bit of tension, pop that knob out, stick it in my pocket. And now I can come unhook this panel again, slide it down, and I can mess with micro adjustment of my bridge in whatever position I want. So if I want a very steep angle right here, pull that, cinch it in. Same thing on this side. If I want that steep angle, pull out, pull it through, cinch it in. I'm now locked into the most exaggerated position on the bridge to put the most support on my lower back, but it's not allowing me to use the full capability of the second panel. So if I want to change that, I just come back out, pull the tension out with my tab, pull this to the other side of the exaggeration, cinch that up, do the same on this side. Now when I come back, pretty much all of the weight is put on the second panel, and you can see I've got almost no tension on my waist panel. So no matter what, I can fine tune this quad lock bridge system to fit my body type and fit how I want the feel to be between the two panels in any given tree and any given tether height. As far as adjustability and custom comfort, this is one of the most ingenious bridge systems on the market. So now if I want to go back into free float system, which will equalize my weight between the two panels, I just come back up, pull on that tab to give it a little bit of gap, reach in my pocket, grab my free float knob, attach it to the smaller cordage on the bridge, roll it underneath the knot, roll the slot to the upper position, and cinch this thing back down. Now my left-hand side is back in the free float position. Now I'll do the same on the right side. And now I'm right back in the free float position where it's going to equalize my weight between the lower panel and the upper panel, no matter where I'm positioned. Another way to customize how this saddle is going to feel on your person is to adjust your tether height. Your tether height can be ran really at any scale that you want. At this scale, it's about chest height when I'm leaning backward, and that's a very comfortable position when shooting a bow. I can bring my bow up and over the tether very easily. I don't have to fish it through or lean way back to come over if it's exaggerated way up higher. So this is a really comfortable position in just about any scenario. But if you do want to run your tether higher, you just pull some line, bring this up, and the highest I would probably ever run my tether is right about eye level. This position is really, really nice for if I am filming and I know I'm gonna want to be filming to my right-hand side. This is a lot easier and wider gap to swing my camera arm through to film on this side or on this side. In fact, I might even hook up my camera arm so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. As you can see now with my camera arm set up, the tether being in the eye level position, this is a very comfortable position for me to be able to film everything out in front of me. But not only that, if I have a deer here on my right hand side and the tree is a big one like this where it's really hard to reach all the way around and still see what I'm looking at, a tether at eye height gives me plenty of room between my bridge and the tree to be able to swing my camera through between my saddle and the tree and film on my right hand side or my weak side. And then if I want to film back over on the left hand side, it's just one quick movement to get back through and film on this left hand side. This position is tether at about eye level while I'm leaning back, and my camera arm base right about at my hip level. Now the downfall to having your saddle at this position is it's a little bit harder to swing your bow through to your left hand side to shoot. Whereas this position, it's going to be a lot easier to get my bow through between me and the tree. But where I like to have my camera height, it makes it a lot harder to cross between my saddle and the tree. So in this position, what I would have to do is lower my camera base even lower so that it's down here and I can swing through like this, which is totally fine and a great position to have your camera arm. I just like to have my camera very closely. I can just keep a nice visual right here on my screen, just very closely, like 10-12 inches from my eyes to the screen, so I get good video and I know exactly what I'm looking at. Everything is in focus, sharp, and all my lighting and settings are how they need to be. If I have this too much lower than this, I would just probably swing down a little bit to get a little bit closer to the camera to film that way. So as you can see, there are a ton of different positions you can put your tether in order to achieve exactly what you want in the field when it comes to filming with a camera arm. And it might change with each given tree. You might have a limb over here that prohibits you from having it at chest height. You might want to move it up to the upper position or somewhere in the middle, and then just play with your quad lock system on your bridge to get the best comfort out of your dual panel saddle. But this thing is truly incredible. I am very, very impressed with it. I'm gonna grab my bow out of the truck and just make a couple movements with my bow to make sure that I can shoot out of this thing easily and figure out how my strong side angles are gonna feel as well as my weak side angles. So let's go grab that bow. We're gonna grab an arrow. We're gonna pretend that we've got a deer down in front of us and see if we can truly shoot at all angles. So our first angle we're gonna shoot is directly in front of me on my strong side. I'm just gonna swing down here. That's easy. Directly off my strong side. Easy. 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 So now if I want to shoot directly in front and to my weak side, I'm going to turn completely to the tree. I'm going to put this tether underneath my armpit like this. And I'm just going to come right in here. I've got a limb in the way right here. If I can swing all the way around and shoot off this offside, and it's actually bracing me really well up against this tree. I feel very stable, very secure. So I can truly shoot at any angle that I want with the tether in the high position. Now I can do the exact same thing with the tether in the low position, but it means that I've got to bring my camera arm setup lower. And again, every tree, every scenario, every situation is going to be different. I just like to easily be able to run my camera between myself and the tree. So you can mess around with whatever position you want for the tether, whether it be eye height when you're leaned back, whether it be chest height when you're leaned back, somewhere in between. There's no wrong answer to the height of the tether, other than the higher you go, likely the more uncomfortable the saddle is gonna be. You're gonna have very harsh angles the higher you go. So there's a middle ground with where you want this tether, where you're gonna be comfortable for all day long, and you'll be able to find it no matter what, especially when you have a quad lock bridge system like this Carnivore saddle has. So anyway, that is it for this unboxing and review of the Carnivore 2-panel saddle from Tethrd. I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions, be sure and comment below and I will be sure and get back with you. Thank you for watching the video. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.